Hello everyone, welcome back to this session of English. In this session, we are going to continue with our chapter determiners. Now, this is part 2 of this chapter. Well, we have already started learning determiners and we discussed various concepts regarding determiners in our earlier session. Now, what we are going to discuss in this session, let me tell you. In this session, we are going to discuss various other concepts and many rules about determiners. Also, we are going to elaborate articles which are actually the part of determiners and how to use them. That all we are going to discuss in this session. Well, this session is going to be very important and interesting for all of you because we'll learn many concepts over here which are really very interesting. So let's begin this session. First of all, we'll discuss articles. Now, this is concept 3. As I told you in our earlier session that we classify determiners into two groups, that is group A and group B. So we have already discussed that what group A and group be includes. Okay. What group A and group B include. Now here in this we will discuss concept number 3, that is articles. So we'll elaborate articles in this session. Definition: articles are words that define a noun or a specific as specific or unspecific. Articles are the words which are used just before noun or which are used before noun, and they qualify noun on the basis of definiteness or indefiniteness. It means it defines noun whether it is a specific or non-specific. They can denote the definiteness or the indefiniteness of a noun. It means if we are referring to a noun, this article, it makes it clear that whether we are talking about a particular noun or we are talking about noun in general. Okay. Now, types of articles in English. There are two types of articles. One is definite, that is the, and other one is indefinite articles, that is a or n. Okay. And the placement of a or n, how we will place a or n before any noun, that we will discuss later on. Now, if we talk about, this is detailed overview. Definite article the. It is used when referring to a specific noun or noun phrase that is unique or known to both the speaker and the listener. Now, there are two people. One is the speaker and other one is the listener of that particular speech which is going on. Okay. Now, suppose there are two people. One is a speaker and other one is listener. And a speaker is saying about something which the listener is listening to. And both the people, that is the speaker and the listener, they both are aware of the same thing which is being discussed over there. For example, suppose I'm the speaker and there is another person who is the listener. I said, I saw that car today which you were telling me yesterday. So he will say, you saw the car, really? And I will say, yes, I saw the same car. So both of us, we are talking about the same car. Okay. Now, if I say, stop there, the dog is barking, it means I'm telling about some particular dog, that dog is barking. So I can say the dog is barking. Okay. But if I say, don't come here, a dog is roaming around. Okay. So I'm talking about any dog. Okay. I'm not referring to a particular dog, but I'm talking about a dog which is roaming around. But now maybe possibly it is not. Okay. So this is how we can show the definiteness of a thing. If I say the sun, obviously we know that the sun is unique and it is only one in this world and all the people, they are aware of it. So we can use the sun. Okay. For each and every planet name, we use the, because we know well that each and every person know about it and that is unique. Okay. Now, for example, the sun rises in the east. So for sun, we use the. There is only one sun, so it is a specific. I saw the movie you recommended. Now, I saw that movie which you recommended. So I'm talking about only that movie which you recommended. So I have used the word the before just movie because this is known to both of us, that is the speaker and the listener. Okay. The speaker is saying this sentence and to whom? The listener. And obviously, this listener is the person who recommended the movie to the speaker. So know which movie is being discussed. It can be used with singular, plural, countable and uncountable nouns. Now, this is the speciality uh, of the definite article the. That is, it can be used before any type of noun, whether it is countable, uncountable, it is singular or plural. Whereas if we talk about indefinite nouns, they can only be used before singular noun, but not every noun. The book, the books are also correct. The water. Okay. Now, if I say book is countable and it is singular, so which you the book which you bought yesterday. So I'm talking about only that book which you bought yesterday. Okay. If I say the books which are kept on the shelf. Okay. So I'm talking about only those books which are kept on the shelf. Okay. If I say the water of this river, it means I'm talking about only that water which is in this river. Okay. So if we say water in general, we do not use any article with it. But if we make this water particular, for example, the water of this pond, the water of this swimming pool, the water of this river, it means I'm talking about only that particular water which is actually contained in this area. Okay. So in a particular area. So here, as I have made this word particular, we can use the before. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. Now we'll discuss indefinite articles, that is a and n. They are used to refer to a non-specific noun or noun phrase. A and n essentially mean one. Now this is very important about a or n, that a or n essentially means one. It means if we talk about one, for example, if I say one pen, I can also say a pen. Okay, so I can only use a or n just before singular noun because they are only used for one or any one of a particular type. A is used before consonant sounds. Now, this is very, very important about the use of A and N. Now, if you see this one, A and N, these both are articles and both of these are used before singular. Now, how we use A and where do we use N? Okay, that is actually a concept related to Varnmala of Hindi. Okay. If you go to Hindi Varnmala, you must have heard about two words, that is swar and vyanjan. Swar and must have heard about these two. Swar means vowel sound word. Vowel sound words. It means if you talk about any word and if its pronunciation starts with vowel sound, or you can say swar. Okay. So there we will use the word N. Okay, here we'll use the word N. But if we talk about a vyanjan, it means consonant sound word. Now it is consonant sound, not consonant, but a consonant sound word. It means if you pronounce that word and its pronunciation begins with a vyanjan or a consonant sound, that means we'll have to use A before them. Okay, so we'll use A before. For example, if we talk about a pen, let me give example of it over here. A pen. Now, if you see this word pen, pen means pa. Okay, and pa is of course a vyanjan in Hindi Varnmala. So I will use A before. Okay, if I say umbrella. Now, umbrella. If you look at this word carefully and if you pronounce this word, of course it begins with a of swar. So we'll write an umbrella. Okay. But if you talk about the word university. Now if we talk about this word university. Okay. Now university, here the word begins with, the pronunciation of this word begins with ya, which is actually a vyanjan of Hindi Varnmala. So you should say university, or if you just make it, just figure out the spelling of this word in rough manner, that will become university. Okay, so this is somewhere like this. Okay, which is beginning with a Y sound or a ya sound. Okay, of vyanjan. That is why we'll write A before it, though it is beginning with letter U, which is a vowel, but it has a consonant sound. Therefore, we'll use A before it. However, if we talk about MBA, okay, if there is a person who is MBA. Now, if you look at this word and if you try to make its pronunciation, it will be like M, okay, and this is A of Hindi Vyanjan, which is swar, sorry, A of Hindi swar or Hindi Varnmala swar. And if you want to spell it in English only, it will be like MBA. Okay, so here M, which is beginning with the vowel sound, therefore we'll write NM. Okay, he's an MBA. Okay, so in this manner we use A or N before any noun. Okay, now a book, a cat, a university. Now note university starts with A U. Okay, sound, which is a consonant sound. N is used before vowel sounds. An apple, an R, an honest person. Now in this R or honest, this H is silent. Therefore, R is pronounced as R sound, which is a vowel sound, and honest is starts with a little silent H, and when we pronounce it, it is ow sound, honest. Okay, so we'll listen to the word O, not we'll hear the word O as if it were beginning with O, not H. Okay, because H is silent in this word. Now let us move to the next one. This pronunciation decides whether to use A or N before any article. Now there are several important points regarding this. When these nouns represent a general concept or an unspecified quantity, they are often treated as uncountable, and as a result, they don't take an indefinite article A or N. When they represent a specific instance or a countable entity, they are treated as countable nouns. Now, this is very, very important. We are going to elaborate this in this session only. In future slides. What does it mean? Suppose there is a word which we are talking about. For example, if there is a pillar. Okay, this is a pillar I'm talking about. Okay, and there are many pillars. One pillar, another pillar, and another pillar. Now, if you count all these pillars, obviously pillars are countable. That is 1, 2, and so on. But if we talk about only one pillar, we are not talking about, suppose I don't talk about these three pillars, but I talk about only this pillar. Now, if I say this is a pillar, now if only one pillar is there, and we are talking about some part of it, I said that some part of this pillar has got rust. If some part of this pillar has got rust. Now rust is of this color, maybe this color. Okay, so I said that some part of this pillar has got rust. Now if I say some part, is it countable? Can I say that one part? No, it is 1/4 part, or you can say 1/4 of the pillar, or 1/3 of the pillar. So this is actually the part of the pillar. Okay, so if we talk about only one pillar, or the unspecified quantity of that particular pillar, that noun will be considered uncountable, because we are not talking about the number of pillars. We are talking about only a part of that only single pillar. If there is only single pillar and I'm talking about a part of it, so I cannot classify that a number that one part or two part or three part. No, it will be like 1/3 part, 1/4 part, or some part. Okay, so that will make it uncountable. Okay, so before any uncountable part of anything, we cannot use A or N. Now let us see some examples. For example, if there is a word school. Okay, now if I want, how can I say school is important for a child's development? Now here I have used the word school. It is not countable because I'm not talking about a particular school over there. Okay, I'm talking about a school in general. So school is important for a child's development. Obviously here school is just defined over here, and before this school I will not use a school or an school. Why? So school is a school. I'm talking about it in general. But if I say there are 3 schools in my neighborhood, it means I'm talking about these 3 schools which are in my area, or which are in my neighborhood. So here I can count schools. Therefore, I have used 3. I have a school in my neighborhood. So I'm talking about a particular school. I can say a school. Okay. Now another word is university. If I say university is not for everyone. Okay, so this is the uncountable part of university, just before which I cannot use any article. Now, not the, not a, or not n, because university is not for everyone, it means any university. Okay, this is meant in general, not any university, but I have only taken this word, so this is uncountable. But if I say he's attended 2 universities already, so these universities are plural and we can use to before. Okay, so this is countable. Also, I can see that there is a big university next to my house, okay, or near my house. So a big university. So I'm talking about a particular university. I'm talking about a university, that there is a university. It means that is any university, but that is a university, okay, which is near to my house. Okay. Or if I say the university that you are talking about is near my house. So I'm talking about a particular university which both the listener and speaker are aware of. There we can use the university. Okay. However, I can use a university for any university I'm referring. Now let us move to the next one. That is college. Same in same manner, college is also treated. If it is going to college, can open us opportunities, can open up opportunities. So this college is uncountable or talked about in general sense. We cannot use a or and before this because we are not talking about any specific or unspecific college. This is used in uncountable form. Whereas if I say she's deciding between 4 colleges, so this is, we are talking about some particular colleges, so these are countable. Okay. Now home, there is no place like home. Here, home is used as uncountable noun, but if I say we visited 3 homes before choosing one, it means we have already seen. Okay, so this is countable nature of home. Now day, uncountable, day and night are opposites. Okay, so here day and night cannot be said. I cannot say a day and a night. Now, why so? Because day and night are used in general sense. Okay, we can say day and night are opposites. Okay, so these are not countable over here. But if I say it rained for 2 days straight, so I'm talking about 2 days, which I can count 1 day, 2 day, and it rained for 2 days. Okay. Night, uncountable, he works during the night. If I say I spent 5 nights in that hotel, so this is night can be countable in this sense, but uncountable in this. Car, uncountable, car travel can be exhausted. This car is used not for exactly the word car, but for just the traveling or the type of traveling. Okay, so when we use such words, but not for those buildings or not for that particular thing, but for any feeling, it means these are abstract nouns. Okay, they can be used as an abstract noun. When they are used as abstract nouns, they can be uncountable. Okay, but when they are used as they are, it means in their original formation, they are countable. We looked at 3 cars before buying one. So 3 cars, we are particularly talking about car only. Whereas in our above sentence, car travel, it means we are talking about a type of traveling. Okay. Now phone, mobile phone technology has evolved quickly. It means in this we have talked about the technology of mobile phone. But in the next sentence, she has had 4 phones in 2 years. So she has had 4 phones. It means here we can count these. Okay, so they're countable. And we are talking about phone only. Letter, uncountable, written letter communication is becoming rare. So written letter communication, it means we are talking about a type of communication. Okay, and countable are received 2 letters today. So here we have talked about 2 letters. Letters are countable over here. So we have 2 words before these letters. So in this session, we can say that we are talking particularly about letters only. But if they are used for something else, or when we use these words show the abstract nouns or the abstract nature of these nouns, that means they are uncountable in nature. Email, uncountable. Email has become a primary mode of communication. Here we have talked about a mode of communication. But if I say I need to reply to 10 emails this morning, now we can count 10 emails that I have received. So I'm talking about email only in this sentence. Now let us move to the next one. Hospital. He is in hospital after the accident. British English. There is a new hospital in our city. So we are talking about a particular hospital. Let us move to the next one. Bed, uncountable. I need to get some bed rest. Okay. For countable, they have 2 beds in the bed. Okay. So this is the countable nature of bed. Whereas in the above, we have said this for the bed rest. It means the condition that doctor has suggested. Prison, he is in prison for theft. The country is building a new. Okay, so these are two natures. In the first one, prison for theft, the it means he's inside the prison building. Whereas countable nature, the country is building a new prison. Okay. Work, I have a lot of work to do. She has showcased her works in several exhibitions. Now, these works, these are actually the novels. Okay, novels written by someone. That is known as work. Whereas work, that the task that we do, that is work. Okay, which is uncountable or abstract. Bus transport is convenient. Now here we are not talking about bus. We are talking about the mode of transport. Okay. Whereas if we use bus in countable figures, 2 buses pass by this shop every hour. Buses. So here we can count these buses. Bicycle, uncountable nature. Bicycle riding is good for health. Obviously, I'm not talking about any bicycle over here. Instead, I'm talking about riding. Okay. Countable, he owns 3 bicycles. So here we can count bicycles. Therefore, I'm using the word bicycles, and also I've used 3 words. Plane travel is the fastest. This is the type of traveling. And there are 5 planes in hangar. Hangar means a place where aeroplanes are kept. Okay. Train travel can be scenic. We took 2 trains to get there. So any means of transport can be used in this manner. Sea, uncountable. The sea is vast and mysterious. Countable nature. The 2 seas meet at this point. Okay. Town living is different from country living. It means we are talking about 2 type of livings, that is urban and that is living in the town and living in entire country. There are 2 towns nearby. Okay. Boat travel can be relaxing. We rented 2 boats for the day. Uncountable nature, boat travel, it means when we talk about traveling, not the boat exactly, but in the next one, we rented 2 boats. So particularly, we are talking about the number of boats only and the boats only. Whereas in the above sentence, we have talked about the boat traveling, that is really relaxing and entertaining. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. Now radio, uncountable noun, news on the radio is immediate. Whereas countable, she owns an old radio. Double noun expressions, especially those linked with by a preposition, often don't require an article. However, this doesn't apply universally. The need for an article depends on the specific context and intended meaning. For example, arm in arm, inch by inch, with knife and fork, day after day, on land and sea, top to bottom. These are several phrases in which we can use these prepositions. Okay? And these are double noun expressions. Now with prepositions, for example, if I say father-in-law, my father-in-law is coming to visit. My is a determiner. Father-in-law is a noun. Runner-up, John was the runner-up. Runner-up is the noun, whereas the is the determiner over here. Competition. Mother-to-be, the mother-to-be was glowing with happiness. Here we have used the, which is a determiner, which is used before mother-to-be, who is a particular mother we are referring to. Okay. Let us move to the next one. Without prepositions, Attorney General. The new Attorney General. Now this is also a compound noun, but here we do not have used any. Sorry, we don't have used any preposition. But if you see these words, you can see in as the preposition. Okay, runner up is the preposition. Here, mother to be are the preposition. Not be, but to is the preposition. But whereas in these words we have Attorney General. So Attorney General, it does not contain any preposition in between. The new Attorney General will be sworn in tomorrow. Sister-in-law, I met my sister-in-law at the party. However, this contains in. In many of these cases, the double noun expressions have compound nouns that represent a single concept. As such, they might not require an article in the way the 2 separate nouns. However, context matters, and there are situations where an article would still be necessary. The Attorney General is specific reference versus Attorney General, any Attorney General, not in particular. Okay, so we can also use words to specify or to any person, which can be an attorney general. Now, articles as determiners. How do we use articles as determiners? Articles are a type of determiner. Determiners are words placed in front of a noun. It means before a noun. Okay, or to specify it or limit its meaning. Other examples of determiners include demonstratives, this and that, possessives, my and your, quantifiers, some and many. Okay, so these are other examples. Okay. Now, articles with other determiners. In general, we don't use articles with other determiners. However, for example, we don't say the my cat. Okay. Generally, we do not use articles with other determiners. Though, now here, notice my words that we can use article before adjective. Okay, but adjective, all the adjectives are not determiners. It means we cannot use article and determiner together before a noun. We cannot say the my cat. Okay, but we can say the beautiful girl or a beautiful girl. Okay, so that beautiful is an adjective, not a determiner. Or some apples cannot be said. Both these phrases are wrong. Now, articles with adjective plus noun. Articles can be used with adjectives that precede nouns. Article, when technically modifying the noun, will agree in form with the adjective if the adjective affects the sound that follows. For example, a beautiful day, not an beautiful. An interesting book. So interesting, it begins with the a vowel sound. That is why we have used N, not A. Okay. The choice between A and N is based on the sound that follows. A is used before words beginning with a consonant sound, and N is used before words beginning with a vowel sound. Note that it is the sound, not the actual letter, that determines the use. This part is very important to learn. Okay, now let us move to the next one. For example, a university, because it starts with U, YU sound, which is a consonant, which you heard like this. NR, because it starts with R sound, which is a vowel sound. Okay, and H is silent over here. Some determiners can indeed co-occur with articles, creating set phrases or patterns. Many are. Now, this you can see in your sentences, that is many are or many n. So after this adjective or after this determiner, you can have article, that is many are, many n. So here we have determiner, and after that we have an article. So this concept can be used, that is determiner plus article. However, we cannot use A plus D, that is article plus determiner, but we can use determiner plus article. For example, many are, many n. This is somewhat a poetic or formal way to emphasize each individual item within a large group. Many a man has tried and failed. So many a man. We are talking about many a represents every. Many a man has tried and failed. Okay. Not every, but you can say a lot of persons. Okay, but individual. A few versus the few. A few suggest a positive meaning, implying some but not. Okay. I have a few apples left. The few suggest a positive meaning, implied that while the number might be small, it still is significant or enough. It often contrasts a smaller group with a larger one. The few apples that remained were rotten. It means we are talking about the few apples which were left, but they are enough. These few students who passed the exam celebrated their success with relief and pride, cherishing their hard-earned achievement. Earned achievement. Okay. A little versus the little. Again, the same thing. A little is used to say some, but not a lot. And a little is used with countable, whereas also the little is also used with countable. Sorry. A little and the little are used with uncountable. A little and a little are used with uncountable, whereas if we talk about few or a few or the few, they are used with countable. So with uncountable nouns, we use a little or the little. I have a little money in my pocket. Now money is uncountable, so we have used a little. It means some money in my pocket. A little is just equal to some, whereas the little is equal to sufficient. Galital emphasized the limited amount there is, often contrasting it with the potential larger amount. It means that is sufficient, but it can be it has potential to be larger. The little money I had was stolen. It means the the extent which I have of money, that the entire money was stolen, how much I have. Now both the structure is not common. Typically you will see both used alone. Both children are talented or both the children are talented. However, in some contexts both the might appear, especially if you are specifying from a set. Both the red and the blue cards are on sale. All the can be used, all can be used alone with the depending on the context. Example, without the, all children must be accompanied by an adult. Example, with the, all children in the class passed the test. You can use all the as well as just a noun after the word all. Well, how do we use that? We'll discuss that later on. Now, I hope this much is clear to you. You have understood each and every concept that we have discussed in the session of determiner. This session was really interesting and beneficial to all of you. We'll elaborate these concepts in our future sessions of determiners. I hope this much is clear to you. So, if you want to learn more about determiners, be connected with me. Till then, thanks to you.